Today in the cheaper realm, something a little bit different. We have an air detector, brand new from Mustool, the MT-29. And a big keep on testing shout out to Banggood. Thanks so much for sending the MT-29 in for this review. Oh yeah. Air detectors are something you might not really be thinking about on a day-to-day basis. But, personally in the realm of electronics, if you do a lot of soldering, that sort of thing, I think it's a really good idea. Personally, I've been using them for about 5 years or so, because when I'm soldering, I want to make sure that that exhausted solder fume hazard potential is being mitigated to the best of my ability. And one way to do that is with such a test instrument. MT-29, brand new from Mustool. This one's a little bit different as well. It has Wi-Fi capabilities, so you can actually download the app and look at the readings on your mobile device as well. So yeah, that's kind of cool. What do you get in the box? Well, of course, you get your Mustool MT29, and you get this pretty cool little stand. It's metal. It's not plastic. It's completely metal. Very nice, very nice. And as well, you get your user manual. Now, I gotta say, not the best out there. The English paraphrasing is pretty poor in some spots. Yeah, but that being said, nonetheless, it does give you a general breakdown of what your test air detector can or cannot do. Definitely better than nothing. This particular tester, you can link it on your, in this case, the Google Play Store. Go to the Wi-Fi app, search for Tuya Smart Wi-Fi app, and download it where you go. We'll take a peek at that in a minute or so. That being said, though, you don't need your app to use the tester. No, you don't. In fact, I'm not going to be using it when I'm doing my soldering, what have you. Much easier for me just to put the unit on the base stand, turn it on, and away you go. Speaking of turning it on, well, let's turn on. Hey, before we do that, let's take off the. Oh yeah, as you can see, makes a bit of a difference, doesn't it? Now here we have our USB-C charging port and that power on/off button. On the other side, we don't have anything. Back of the unit. Well, there we have our outlet for the sensors, the air quality detector. There you see the model ZN MT29 Type-C charging port. Battery, by the way, 2000 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. Yeah, and you've got those little peg holders there. So if you want to mount it on a wall, you can. But personally, I really like the stand. I think that is the best solution. Turn it on simply by holding down on the power button and bada boom, bada bing. Now, this is a little bit weird. It says preheating and it's a countdown. So it takes a minute to boot up. Why? Oh, why does it take a minute to boot up? I don't know what they mean by preheating either. Maybe they mean warming up. I don't quite get it. I don't know why it has to have this lag, because, when you're doing something right, you want instant gratification. You don't have time to sit around and turn all your test instruments on before you start doing something and wait around, right? So aggravating. Yes, I do not like this 67 boot at all. Oh, okay, now we gotta wait. Down to 20 seconds. There you can see it takes a long time, doesn't it? Not sure. Now, it's not a touch screen, nothing like that. So we just gotta wait. Patience is a virtue, or so they say. I'm not feeling very virtuous today. Almost there. 5 seconds to go. And once we get there, you'll see the main screen. And there we are. Here we have today's date at the top left, February 8th, 2025. The time. We have that Wi-Fi symbol just letting us know that we do have the Wi-Fi capability invoked. Speaker is on. 20 degrees Celsius here. 31% relative humidity. And that graphing itself, you can see it's, kind of has that analog old school style. And what just happened there? We just lost everything. So what's going on? Oh no. Now, you know what? This has not happened before. So I'm thinking maybe this needs to be charged. Okay. I'm going to just let this time down one more time, take a quick peek. I thought it was charged. Maybe not. Hang on. And by the way, yeah, it does come with those little tiny USB-C chargers. Now, this thing is so small. I mean, it's like 5-6 inches, crazy. Turned off again. I'm assuming the battery is dead. I'm going to charge it and get on with the review. Yeah, so indeed that battery was dead, needed to be recharged. No fault of the Mustool device, strictly my fault. Takes about an hour. Gonna be right back. Mustool is charged, not fully charged. That was about 40 minutes or so, but you can see it's well over half charge. According to the manual, it takes about 2 to 3 hours for a full charge, but not needed at this point. Now, I discovered that you can use this while it's charging. So, hey, don't necessarily have to fall into the same boat that just happened to me. You can use it while it's plugged in and away you go. Never have to worry about it dying. But for me, it's about portability. That's part of the allure to this little air detector. And I don't like to have it plugged in. Anyway, here we go. So nice screen. Now it's subject to a lot of glare. As you can see, like the lighting here in the studio is really messing things up sometimes, but there you go. 28 degrees Celsius, which is completely wrong. It's no way is it 28 degrees Celsius in here. Why does it say 28 degrees Celsius? That's a little weird. Okay, let it settle for a little bit. Still 26, 25 degrees. Definitely a lot warmer than it is in the lab. I want a second opinion, so I'm going to pull out a couple of similar devices. 18 degrees according to the Unity. I got a backlight on here if it's invoked or not. Oh, it was on, okay. So 18 degrees for the Unity, 18.4 degrees. And for the KAIWEETS here, it's coming in as 20 degrees. Yeah, a little bit of variance, obviously, but definitely not 25. That is definitely overshooting. It is not that warm. I'm 100% on that, so... Now, all of these air quality meters are rechargeable. The one in the middle, the Mustool, is the only one that is USB-C rechargeable. The others have that weird micro or mini USB, which is a bit of a pain. I do prefer the USB-C. Whoa, Mr. KAIWEETS. Yeah. Also, as you can see in terms of readability, the Mustool is pretty easy on the eyes, has that nice sort of analog style method of relaying the info. The Unity isn't bad. I mean, it's big, it's bold, but you're sort of limited to what you see. The KAIWEETS also is pretty sweet in terms of what you can or can't see, but definitely not as verbose, once again, as the Mustool. Of course, being portable, you can bring this into different rooms. Check out the air quality index, the AQI, give you a general gist of how your different areas of your house are performing. Once again, I'm going to use this mostly for soldering. That's what I use it for. I mean, where I'm living here in Canada, you know, we have all the, you know, air filtration system in the house, what have you. So I'm not really too worried about a variance between rooms. Now, that said, we did have fires here a couple of years ago in Ontario, Quebec, that were causing a lot of havoc with the air quality. So you never know, right? You never know when these things can actually come in handy. But for the most useful for me is, once again, when I'm soldering. I thought I'll get another opinion as well. Look at that, the Tooltop IR camera coming in at around 18.5 or so degrees Celsius. So I'm going to do some soldering. We're going to compare all three workstations, all three air detectors, and we'll see which one, you know, seems to be the best. Okay, so I've got that soldering iron going. We've got that solder. This is leaded solder, by the way. Not that it makes much of a difference, but don't have any exhausting going on right now. No exhaust fans. Strictly 100% carcinogen soldering smoke. Yeah, hence why it's a good idea to have an air quality detector. So right away off the get-go, the Unity that is definitely giving us that heads up, letting us know that we're now in a danger zone with that red display. Now, one thing about the Unity, it seems to go up and low. It spikes a lot. And okay, look at the Mustool now. Now that air quality index over 500 in the danger zone. You can see it is gone from green to red. Once again, nice and verbose. Also, the only one with the alarm is the Mustool. Pretty loud at times. A really good indicator. Once again, if you don't visually see it, you're going to hear it. You don't get an alarm with the Unity and get nothing in terms of a heads up with that KAIWEETS in the middle. So look at that. Yeah, that air quality has gone right down the tubes, hasn't it? Oh my goodness. Now this is something that's really important. So when you're soldering, you might be getting carried away. You might think, hey, you know, I'm fine. Maybe I've got my exhaust fans on, I think, and you don't, or they're not doing a good job exhausting. Maybe they need to be readjusted. This is where one of these meters can really be a lifesaver, and I mean that quite literally. So you don't want to be breathing in carcinogens. No, that's the last thing you want. So an air quality detector can really help keep you and your lungs in the safe zone. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit here and look at that once again. Nice verbose with unity with that big visual red heads up, and once again the red AQI, the air quality index, over 500 right now with the Mustool. So we are definitely not in a good place. So now I'm going to invoke those overhead exhaust fans and start the process to clean the air and, you know, get things back on track in terms of safety. But once again, look at that air quality index here. Yeah, we are right maxed out, right to the edge, right to the tip on the Mustool, over 500. And funny enough, oddly enough, yeah, like that KAIWEETS in the middle, I gotta say, probably the least effective. It just doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot of anything. Unity spiking up and down, now telling us that we're okay. But you know I can still smell those fumes, and I would definitely tend to believe the Mustool. And here's a quick look at the app itself. Choose your MT-29, bada boom, bada bing, and there you go. So exact verbose readout that you're getting on the unit itself. That being said, though, not nearly as verbose to me in terms of, you know, the overall quality. Colors aren't there. It's just very monochromatic and kind of boring. It does give us a basic, you know, air quality index is good, but, you know, I don't know. How handy is the app? I guess it can be, depending on your needs, but personally, I probably wouldn't be using it. I really do prefer just the overall heads up of the unit itself. Really love the color scheme on here. I got to say that for me is the standout. And yeah, our air quality index has changed. Once again, we get that nice verbose alarm as well. And maybe I have to stop eating onions. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm no longer soldering. Anyway, the air quality index is getting better. Yeah, we had that soldering going on for a while back at the soldering station. Overall, though, it's pretty verbose, pretty nice. It does have a habit every now and then of just going blank, so you have to touch the power button. Out of all the units I compared today, I really do like this one. I tend to lean towards it just because you get so much info on the screen itself. The other units are good. I prefer, though, the overall display of the Mustool. Easy on the eyes, a lot of information at the glance, and just generally speaking, it looks really, really good. Closing thoughts on the Mustool MT29. Yeah, this is a very cool air detector. Does a lot, and it does a lot in a very small, concise package. Hey, look at that screen, very verbose. At the glance of an eye, you get a lot of info. Maybe more than you need, but hey, that's not always a bad thing. Also, that alarm functionality is really loud. It definitely gets your attention, and that is also a bonus. Easy on the eyes, lots of information, good color coding. In terms of negativity, not a lot to say. It does need a lot of charging, I've found. Probably have to charge it at least once or twice a week if you're going to use it a lot. That being said, you can keep it plugged in as well, and you don't never have to worry about recharging. So, you know, the choice is yours. Absolutely love that metal stand. It just fits so well on the unit, and it just gives it an air of superiority to the other devices because it's very, very well made. Thank God for USB-C charging. That's where we're at. Finding many micro USB chargers in this day and age kind of sucks. Good job, Mustool, on sticking with the USB-C. Whether you can use this for soldering or perhaps just checking quality of the air you breathe in your house from room to room, this is definitely a device that has its place. The Mustool MT29 air detector gets a solid 4 out of 5 stars. This is one El Cheapo test instrument you really need. Hey, it's only about like 25 bucks US, even cheaper. You can't go wrong. Thanks for watching this review, everybody. To the next one. Keep on testing.